Have you also received the cost of living package that came from the Singapore government? It feels great having some form of pocket money that comes in addition to your day job, right? This is how it feels like when you have side hustle income that comes in once in a while, if not consistently once you've built a stable side hustle. It might even feel better because it's paid based on the effort and the work that you have done. Side hustling is something that is common these days because we don't want to be just relying on our full-time job, which might not be as stable as you think it is. Today's video, I'm going to share with you a little bit of the insights that I have side hustling since the age of 16 years old, trying out different things, how it has worked, the journey, etc. Let's dive straight into today's video. Let's go. The reason why I wanted to do this video and talk about side hustles because it has truly changed my life. Some of you follow along on this journey because I started sharing about the unconventional journey that I'm on, living my corporate job at 27 years old and then pursuing something that is absolutely different. To me, I feel like I needed to break out of this rat race because I didn't find meaning in my job even though I enjoyed it. To those of you, to that 1% of you who find meaning in the work that you do, you are excited to wake up on a Monday morning, then kudos to you, but not many of us feel the same way. So side hustling changed my life in a way that it gives me the freedom to explore certain things that I'm truly passionate about, and I found it's personal finance, and that is why I'm here on YouTube sharing about personal finance as well, and it brings in some form of income. My main motivation to try various side hustles and to find one that eventually will work was to be able to live life based on my own terms, to be in control of my own time. Side hustling isn't just about the money, but it's the freedom that the money will eventually bring. Now that I've shared with you my motivations and why I've tried various side hustles in my life, let me share with you what I've done ever since the age of 16 years old. I'm going to reference some of the documents that I have over here, so I apologize if my eyes shift downwards. I'm looking at these documents to share with you. I'll put it on the screen for your reference as well, but there are various forms of side hustles that you can try and do, and these are just some of what I've done ever since I was 16. I've traded my time for money as an admin assistant at various companies. Then I moved on to being a trampoline park safety marshal, and subsequently I worked at cafes. All of this was motivated by the fact that I wanted to be independent, to spend money which I've earned and not want to be reliant on my parents for things that I wanted to buy. It wasn't with the perspective that I wanted to save up towards my future. Back then when I was younger, I didn't think too far ahead. But if you're watching this and you're looking for various side hustles, side income that you can bring in ASAP, you can take a look at various investment platforms, sign up promotion deals where you can earn guaranteed returns for your deposit onto their platform. There is Syfe Cash Guaranteed that is currently offering 4% per annum returns for a lock-in period of 3 months. Additionally, there is also Moomoo Singapore where they're giving you 5.8% per annum returns for the first 30 days when you deposit up to $80,000 into the SGD Fullerton Cash Fund. All of these are limited time promotion deals that is currently ongoing. More details down in the description box below. Earn some returns based on the idle funds that you have sitting in your bank savings account. Let's go to the next side hustle that I was doing back then. And thereafter, I started selling things and profiting by the price difference, and that is called arbitrage selling. I've sourced for a wholesaler selling Instax photo printer, your Polaroid films, your Instax camera. I found it for a cheaper price and started selling it off on Carousel. This is the listing that I've dug out. I don't have any further details about how much I made in total. All of it probably have been spent somewhere or invested into the retail bonds that I previously held. I earned for a good few years until the wholesaler stopped selling the Instax printer. Per camera, I was earning anywhere between $20 to $30. Per Polaroid film, I was earning a good $2 difference per film if I'm not wrong. So $7.50 or $7.90 was the price that I was selling. I was buying them for $5 per box. With all these small amounts that I was earning, it eventually amounted to quite a significant sum from what I remember. I've also went to the phase of selling muesli. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, or some of you might not know, but I'll put the details over here. It's basically Greek yogurt mixed with nuts and also fruits, and I sold it on Carousel. These were the reviews that I've gotten. The listing has been taken down already because I realized that first off, if someone gets food poisoning after you have made a certain food, it could go haywire and something could go wrong, and that's where I got a little bit afraid. I didn't sell it anymore. But those were the days when I really loved eating muesli, and those were my meals. And thereafter, I just thought, you know, why not sell it to other people who might enjoy something like that as well. So I've earned a good chunk of money over there. The photos that were taken of the product was taken by my brother. It was very professional. He's a photographer, and I think that is why people were attracted to that listing. And thereafter, in my university days, I was doing Grab and Uber. When Uber was still in Singapore, I used my brother's car, the manual car that he has. When he was off to work, I sent him to work. Days when I don't have any classes or after classes, I would drive Grab. I honestly enjoyed it. I didn't meet anybody creepy, thankfully, but it brought in some form of income. I didn't have to rent. That was one thing that has helped me to earn more by being a private hire driver. In addition to that, back then when they first rolled out, there were a lot of incentives that came in, which meant that you could earn a lot as a private hire driver. Remember those articles where private hire drivers were earning more than working a full-time office job? Those were the good old days, but I don't think you can do so anymore. They also increased the requirements of being a private hire driver. Thereafter, I moved towards writing for people. So I wrote articles, but I'm not sure whether they are published. Basically, you write freelance and you earn an amount from that. Last but not the least, it is YouTube. YouTube didn't bring in a form of income at the start. For those of you who do not know, I started posting on YouTube regularly in April 2022, documented my aggressive savings journey, posted a little bit about budgeting tips and tricks, about how I save as a Singaporean at the age of 25 back then, and eventually it only became monetized early 2023. You might ask, then what is the motivation behind it? If it doesn't bring in a form of income for the past 8 months while doing it, then what's the motivation? I knew that it will eventually become something if I just put in the effort, provide content that is of value, throw as much darts out there. I was giving myself 1 year. If this doesn't work out, then so be it. I can try other things. The same goes for my previous side hustles. If I had not tried earning money when I was younger, having a taste of how it feels like bringing a little bit of income that comes in regularly, I don't think I would have the motivation or the drive to find something while I was working a 9 to 6 job. That brought a lot of difference in my life, and when I think back and reflect, why am I like this? It's mainly because of what I've tried out in the past. Doing YouTube is not something that everybody can do. You might not want to put yourself out here on YouTube, being out in the public. There are a lot of sacrifices that has to be made. I'm an introvert by nature. I usually just like being alone, or rather at home. I only have a small group of friends which I'm comfortable being around with most of the time, and that is just how I am as an individual. How am I able to put myself here out on YouTube? I don't know. I just tried, and eventually it worked and it changed my life. YouTube will not be my main source of income, even though it currently is. It funds whatever that I'm doing right now here in South Korea. Eventually, once I head back to Singapore next year, early next year, I'm going to try out something else and it will bring in another form of income. YouTube, at the end of the day, I started with the motivation that I wanted to help someone else out there, hopefully change the mindset of the younger generation to be able to save, think more towards your future, break out of the corporate rat race, and also create a life that you want to live for. I go by this saying in my life: even if it doesn't work out well eventually, I know that I live with no regrets. I've tried something out for myself and live with no regrets. So I hope this video, summing up the side hustles that have truly changed my life over the years ever since I was the age of 16 years old. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section below. If you have any feedback for me, as always, DM me on Instagram or leave it down in the comment section below. I hope you enjoy your year-end holidays, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.